Good morning, babe.
Morning, darling.
How are you doing?
I'm good. You look pretty happy there.
Oh, spinach is being laid at egg this morning.
You need to explain what laid at egg is. Other people don't know what laid at egg means.
When I was little and my parents would have a hug or a kiss, I would crawl in between their legs, the little space in between their legs, and go, laid at egg.
Because you wanted to...
They say that I was easy and no trouble, but that sounds very
That
annoying.
sounds really annoying.
Laid at egg! I was jealous. Remember, you did this already and it made me.
So pick me.
Yeah.
Because I'm here.
So Spinach has been very laid at egg while we've been setting up.
It's because it's raining outside.
Ooh.
Raining and pouring.
Oh, so he's feeling cozy. Yeah, no, bad luck.
Stopped.
It stopped raining.
Daisy's saying bad luck. So that means I have to take him on a walk after this. Damn it.
Oh, damn.
Well, he's being very cute for now.
Very cute. And we haven't watched as much telly this week because of the glorious heat wave that even reached Pembrokeshire. Can you believe it?
Stop doxing us.
But we have watched one new exciting show.
We have.
Too Much.
Yes, on Netflix, which I feel like almost sounds like an ad, which it isn't. Because I say that because...
If only.
Yeah, I know. I say that because there's quite mixed reviews about this show.
So it sounds like we're being like, we discovered this great show.
This great show, Too Much, on Netflix, out now. It got a really bad review in The Guardian that was saying it was full of too many cliches and maybe poorly written or something. So I went in with that knowledge. I was like, and also obviously Lena Dunham's had quite a bad rap over the past, I don't know, decade since Girls came out. Some fair, criticism, some maybe a bit unfair criticism.
Yeah, she's been controversial and there's been... she was part of a necessary conversation of we need to be seeing more diversity and more diverse stories.
Yeah, for sure.
But I always kind of felt like the onus needed to be put more on the people who are deciding what gets put on.
She was like the scapegoat for studios that weren't paying writers, people of colour, to write stuff.
And I'm sure it's taught her a good lesson about thinking about her own privilege. And I think that is reflected in this show. But I also think it's kind of annoying that she's incredibly, incredibly rich, privileged from a very rarefied, arty, creative background.
Super rarefied.
But also I think happens to be a bit of a genius.
Yeah.
Sometimes that also happens.
Definitely.
So
and
then
also,
it means the stories that we're getting from her are from a place, girls specifically... Well, we'll come to whether or not it's relatable because I think she was true to her quite ridiculously privileged
existence
in
Girls or in this?
In Girls. And I heard Alison Williams on Last Cult the other day.
Is she the one who plays Marnie?
She's Marnie,
yeah.
And Matt and Bowen on Last Culturistas are obsessed with Girls and have a Alison Williams Cool Girl award in their awards.
Oh,
she was saying Lena Dunham was complete unbelievable genius to work with.
Cool.
But also when she looks back on how real it felt to her life, she can't believe that her life had so few worries in it. She was it's kind of it kind of spoke of the narcissistic loop that you're in when you're
in your 20s.
21.
Yeah.
And especially a really privileged person, and you're not thinking about, she was saying, now we all think about the world collapsing, and then we were thinking about I've got to get a job in Soul Cycle because that's what those privileged New York girls were thinking about. But she was acknowledging that it was kind of ridiculous but also kind of amazing.
And you also have to come out of it to acknowledge the ridiculousness of it. When you're it's cool that she was able to capture what she was living in that moment, I guess.
Yeah.
When I say she, I mean Lena Dunham.
Yeah.
And also, not to put it all on this, but obviously a massive part of why Lena Dunham gets so much shit is because she's not conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
And she's fat.
Yeah, and that was a big part of, there's so many stories that Girls didn't tell, but I did feel like it did tell some stories that I'd never seen or experienced before on the telly, which for me, when I was at uni, my first uni that I eventually dropped out of, feeling very isolated, watching a lot of girls in my halls room, it was like, oh my God, it's speaking to something about the experience of being a girl that age and of having a different body, and something about body image that was really radical.
And did it resonate with you as a tall person?
The body stuff was less personal to me, although like I never felt like conventionally, attractive or whatever. But the mental health stuff that she talks about OCD and stuff in a really raw way that was very it was just great.
I'd definitely be up for rewatching it because I don't know how far I got in it, and I loved it. But for some reason, I just didn't really get that far into it.
Yeah.
So definitely would watch.
So I hadn't read the Guardian article that you read, but I was thinking about after you said that it had said that it was too much, was full of cliches and things, and I don't feel like it is, and also it's through the lens of someone who idealizes English culture and has come as a fan to London. There's a certain extent that it's not, it's going to be from that point of view.
Erin made a really good point when we were texting her about it, because she told us that she'd watched it.
Yeah.
And she said you can really tell that Lena Dunham had lived in London. And it's so true. Like, she's properly submerged herself.
I definitely agree. Like, the feeling of the flat that she's in and the pub that she goes to. Like, how people think, oh, London, I'm going to be living next to Buckingham Palace and I'm going to be like in Piccadilly Circus to get my breakfast, and then you're in like some random bit of town which basically has to become your whole life because it takes an hour to get anywhere else.
And I loved I found it a bit cringe, but I also loved it, the estate comparison. I was like, I've never thought about them two words being the same but different meaning. It's also funny as like someone from London, not from London. I say I'm not from London at all, but I like lived there.
You lived a good chunk of time there.
It's just fun seeing different scenes from one place to another not adding up at all. Like the pub, did you recognise the pub that they went to?
I did.
It's the one in Peckham that you went to for Sam's birthday, where he had a quiz or something. Oh. It's like between Peckham and Nunhead or something. Yeah. Or towards Brockley, towards the you know where I mean.
Yeah. I thought I recognised it.
And then 2 seconds later she's walking in Waterloo, and I was like,
so that's
not possible. That's not physically possible. That would have taken about 2 hours. Maybe not, an hour and a half or something. I don't know.
There's some liberties that have been taken.
Of course.
But I was thinking about like I think it gives quite a realistic depiction. And if you compare it to like things like Bridget Jones, which is obviously j'adore.
Yeah, but that's more ridiculous.
The idea, which I guess maybe could exist a bit in the 90s, of like this life where you just sort of are drunk all the time, have an amazing job in a publishing thing, and have these amazing gay friends and live in a little flat in the middle of London. It's like that
in Borough
could
Market
never exist now. And this kind of like, what's his name, who did all of those films where you always have an amazing gaggle.
Hugh Grant? Oh no.
The director.
Oh, Richard Curtis. The amazing gaggle of
the amazing
white
gaggle.
Women. Yeah.
And I think in comparison, the way that I think Lena Dunham acknowledges that this character is privileged again, like she's not like, I'm going to write a working class character, which would be fucking cringe.
Yeah.
There's an acknowledgement of the fact that this job that she's got is amazing, even though it's like kind of making her miserable, but like this opportunity is amazing. So she is in a kind of rarefied world, but there's something very relatable about like her relationship with her phone, like the way that she interacts with her phone is something that like everyone can relate to. Her
actually, that's
sense of
true.
isolation.
I feel like it's one of the first sorry, they're doing the first all over. Also, just as a heads up, we've only watched about 2.5 episodes, right?
Yeah, we haven't watched loads of that. These are our initial thoughts.
Exactly. the way she interacts with her phone is so realistic and not portrayed often on film,
exactly,
or like in TV. Like they try, but
and it's
like,
a clever thing
can't do it.
to zone in on, because it is something that does cross like class boundaries. So like, and privilege, like even really privileged people are still addicted to their phone as much as people without privilege are. And so that I think she's really good at zoning in on universal things like jealousy, like her relationship with her ex's new partner. I don't know, I think that's very clever.
Me too.
And it's not trying to be something unreal.
Yes,
there's elements of
fantasy.
Like there's elements of, because I can't help thinking, how much is this based on Lena Dunham's life?
I mean,
because
clearly so much. Clearly so much.
Yeah, the ex character is very Jack Antonoff
and Margaret Qualley.
And Margaret Qualley,
big time.
And then like Lena Dunham is now married to like an indie guy, but is he British?
He's British and he's a musician.
I wanted to work out what he like. How successful he was when she met him.
Yeah, I don't know, because I remember when they got together and looking him up, and I feel like he's the level of success that, but maybe a bit more than this guy.
I mean, this guy is like in the job centre. Like that's what I want.
That was the only scene that I was like, that's not what the job centre's like, because you and I have both been in the job centre.
Oh God, if only someone was that friendly.
Exactly, if only someone was that friendly. I was like, there's no way that anyone can have an ounce of personality and say, show me if your band's any good, or say that they're in a band. No.
This made me think, that she'd spoken to her husband and was like, what's it like going to the job centre?
Yeah, exactly.
And he'd remembered one time when he went to the job centre when he was 18 and talked about it. Whereas, we both had years of, I had years of going and it was fucking...
Going to the job centre.
I did relate to this thing of like,
I loved his script.
Yeah, like, okay, so I'm supposed to be trying to be a creative while also applying to 10 different jobs, and I'm supposed to be wanting to expect someone to employ me as a librarian, even though I put all of my energy into being an artist.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to be putting any energy into that, but also all my energy into that.
It's such a weird thing.
So weird. Like,
it's
to
so
society,
unfair.
you're meant to be proving that you're trying to be creative, while to the government, you're trying to be proving that you've thrown your creative dreams out the window.
And like, do you remember? Well, not do you remember? It's like still very fresh. But like, when you're self-employed, you get help up until a certain point, and then they just assume that you make enough money to sustain yourself, and then they say, okay, no, we're not giving you any more, and you're like, and then you have to. Then what?
The minimum earnings cap has kicked in, which means we just think you're making $2,000 a month,
which they do after like a year. So then it's like $2,000 a month.
It wasn't. I think
Charles would be a fine thing.
I think it might be like
no, but I think you're almost right.
I think it's like 1,100. So then they only give you anything. Basically, then you're just fucked.
Yeah, basically you're fucked after a year. So then, what was the point in having universal credit help you to try and start your business in the first place? And then you also need to get another job. It's
so and
Britain is broken.
Constantly having to fucking spend time traveling in the middle of your working day to have these meetings. Or in our case, when we were living in a cabin with no internet or no signal, trudging into the nearest field where there was signal to sit on a bit of rock and stare out and be like, still haven't got a job yet.
Any work. And about a few months ago, when I was sorry, just bearing my soul on the pod, when I was struggling for work, I contacted Universal Credit because I was like, well, I guess this is what I do if I can't pay the rent and bills. And obviously, it's just such a stupid system. We live about half an hour, 40 minutes away from the nearest town that has a job centre.
Yeah.
Which means, and we were told we'd have to drive in separately on separate days, and that would be 2 hours out of the day, which is like fine for me because I was the one who didn't have a job. And petrol money, all of this stuff. You, were told you're in a full-time work
because I'm your partner and they have to find out how much I earn,
and then they would only give you a slot in your work hours. Why are you gonna it just does none of it make sense. And then basically I found out by going on some like online calculator that even though you weren't earning enough to cover us both, based on that amount, they wouldn't give us any money anyway. So they were going to make us go in individually,
And they wouldn't tell us that before.
They wouldn't tell us. I tried to be like, is there any chance that we can get any money because we're struggling? No, we can't tell you. You have to come in for the meeting.
Yeah, can you just tell us if you're going to say we can't get anything anyway, so we don't then...
Have to go 2 hours away. Oh, it's just...
And they wouldn't, so yeah.
I mean, also, obviously, this is nothing compared to what people have to deal with at the moment with PIP and with anyone else who's struggling on universal credit. Like, I'm so sorry. It's such a dire, horrible, disgusting situation that it just seems awful. So I'm not just being like, oh, where is me? But like, I sympathize because of we've been in the situation before. We've had to deal with it, but obviously not with PIP. And just, everyone is stupid in this country. Sorry, a bit of a tangent.
No, I'm glad we both felt funny in that moment. I think I don't know, completely generalizing, I get the sense that they've pushed his character's background to an extreme that maybe isn't based in truth, but there's like... But I also really like his character and think it's funny.
He's pretty believable as well. Like,
yeah,
and Will Sharp is just really great.
Oh, I love Will Sharp.
He's so really good.
He's like such a good character. I mean, we were a bit annoyed by his character in A Real Pain, but it was more like it didn't fit in the film.
But only because they said, what did he say? Like,
British tour guide.
I'm your British tour guide. That was the end of it for me. Hello, I'm blah blah, and I'm your British tour guide.
But it was like it was from a Calendar Girls or something character, like it just didn't really fit in the film. But I do think
it would make sense for walking. What is it, Hadrian's Wall or something?
But he's a great character actor.
And just one final thing on the job centre.
Yeah,
there was too much colour.
Oh God,
that was the only. I think I've never. The job centre is just the worst place in the world.
Oh my God.
They're so dire, so devoid of anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's things we still haven't talked about on this show.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about Megan Stalter.
Love her.
And also, I just want to make one comment about my favourite bit in the whole show so far.
Yeah.
Which is like very minuscule, but it is off of what we were talking about with the cliches and stuff and Richard Curtis films. I like that she chose Sense and Sensibility to be the film that they were watching and admiring.
Yes.
Rather than, even over... It's great. It's so niche.
That
and
version
cool.
of Sense and Sensibility.
Mwah.
She's like, to us, she's proving herself as
Totally.
a real Anglophile because... we love that particular adaptation.
And also Emma Thompson, first woman to ever get an acting and writing Oscar. I don't know if I think
must
ever
have been
at
for
the
that.
time it was for that.
For The Big Cry. Oh, I thought you were saying.
No, I know
if
it
was
for that. It was definitely for writing that. I
love that film.
I love it too. We should watch it soon.
But yeah, you're so right. So cool to
rather than
nod
choosing Pride and Prejudice. Although I'm sure she loves the BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, which is the best. I just love that whole scene, and I love seeing Lena Dunham lolling about on a sofa.
Oh, love it.
Beautiful.
I forgot
just her lying like
what
this.
an amazing presence on screen she is.
She is, isn't she? She's
so natural. It's mad.
She's so natural.
Yeah.
Like I can only dream of being able to act like her.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Really, really cool.
And I just loved her the family dynamic that she'd written.
all of whom sort of want to wear floor length nighties, which is a bit of me all over.
Yeah.
Every day I'm thinking about when should I buy my floor length nightie.
It's a moo-moo basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like, you're like a southern grandma.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get you a Brittany Broski one.
But also I don't know, someone in Wuthering Heights.
Sorry, of course, I know you're doing it from Wuthering Heights, but I'm just liking comparing you to like an American housewife. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
And so I think another thing that's helping us really like this show is that we know Megan Stalter from other things. And
specifically, well, for me,
yeah,
Hacks.
I know her from Instagram and Hacks.
And she's so good in Hacks.
And she's a bloody joker.
Yeah.
She's
a bloody joker,
she's a
man.
bloody joker. And she's not serious. And she's never really trying to be. She's always doing little funny bits.
Yeah.
and all of her characters that she plays are always in her own world in her head, I think.
Yeah, and so there's bits where she's sort of going like, "Oh, well, my lord, let me be your lady and come into your court." But in like a much worse British accent.
Yeah.
And you can see that people would be like, "Oh God, embarrassing. She's trying to do a British thing." But like the whole point is that she's an American who's doing a silly bit, and she's a real character. She's a real person. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's a joker who does funny, quirky stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you've seen her from her comedy background, then it makes a lot of sense. I also find her very captivating on screen, I think.
Me too. I find her really captivating.
Which is clever because compared to the ex's new partner,
Emirata.
Who she's just not got as much charisma, even though she's like furiously jealous of her.
Yeah.
That is a very relatable, annoying influencer character too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the whole engagement on the camera thing is like, bleh.
Yeah.
It's like, bleh.
Like, bleh.
It's really like, bleh. Well, that segment went on longer than I anticipated.
Oh,
I think
my
that's
God.
Good. Is there anything else you have to say on that show?
No, I liked when Will Sharp was watching Paddington and he had little Paddington bear ears.
Yeah.
That was very cute.
With his little buns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, oh God, that was another element of very refined, specific British culture.
Yes, and that's also an example of, like, it was interesting to nod to Paddington because Paddington does... I love Paddington, and when you watch it, it does make you go, "Oh my God, London is amazing!" But it is ridiculous. Like, it is a ridiculous London world that's inside Paddington.
Yeah,
where everyone's like helping each other and
really nice.
Singing songs, and everything's like candy coloured.
It's so funny because London is the last place that people club together and help each other out. If someone's literally if someone's dying on the street, they're left.
Oh yeah,
that's the messed up thing about London. It's really not great.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
if you're wanting to visit London, don't expect help.
I mean, I love it, but having grown up there, that is like the one rule that you get taught is like, if someone is mugging you, give them your stuff and leave. Just say yes, and don't intervene in anything that you see going on. Just look away, don't look at anyone, look away and move on from any situation that you see anywhere.
Any situation at all. Any situation at all.
And it sees you in good stead.
Although classic me, I quite like helping people go,
that's
with
very
their
good.
Oyster cards and I can help you, and then I'm always like,
you definitely you benefited from a sense of naivety when you moved there, because I used to talk to you on the phone when I was here and you were there, coming back from work at like 1 a.m, and like I was like, where are you right now? You're like, I'm just walking along in Peckham from a bus stop to my house, and I was like, right.
I don't think I ever did that walk without my phone, talking on the phone.
Yeah, and you were always safe, which is good.
I only got my wallet stolen once, and that was because I was at Soho Theatre and I was really drunk and I put my PIN number in really obviously.
Oh no.
And so someone stole. Yeah. Don't tell everyone, no, joking. And then they went and tried to buy things from Sports Direct and bought loads of stuff from McDonald's, and then the bank called me up, and then I went on a hunt through for like an hour to try and find my wallet, because I was like, it's got my Australian driver's license in it, and I didn't find my wallet, but I did find my bank card in a bin.
That's crazy.
Outside Sports Direct. And I'd already cancelled it because I cried to the lady of Lloyd's on the phone. My God. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So, and I never got mugged. Thank God.
I think it's different when you're a school kid, and when you're an adult, you can start to open yourself.
Did you have uniform at school? You did, didn't you?
Yes.
So that's probably why, right?
Yeah, because never have I been perved on more in my life. I remember getting off the bus and then walking back, and there being a traffic jam on the road, and just men shouting things out of the car. Never would they do that now.
That is crazy.
Quite nice now. Look at me, but no one else thinks
You're
so.
gorgeous.
They
I
only
do.
thought it when I was 12.
It's fucking disgusting.
Peak time. Then I cut my hair off at 15 and that sorted that out.
Yeah, that does that does do the trick.
But it was a bloody minefield getting home back in to my door from school.
Poor darling.
Absolute
All you wanted to get
minefield.
was your cheese twist and your Nesquik.
I know. Very hungry.
So hungry.
I didn't even know how to make my uniform look nice. I was like, long skirt plonking around.
Yeah.
You know, there we go.
My darling, you're beautiful. Should we talk about what the rest of what it feels like for a girl?
Yes, let's talk about it.
So we've been talking about it over on the Patreon a little bit, but we finished it now and it was great. What an amazing production. So many publications are like guilty of not covering trans rights in the right way. And I feel like this is a really great, nice way to like just have a story about trans people on telly without, you know.
Yeah, talking of like representation and diversity on screen, like this is the exact kind of story that we need more of, and it's amazing that it got put on BBC with what seems like a big budget.
It seems huge. And you also know how like the whole anti-trans movement is entirely aimed at trans women because TERFs and stupid people assume that trans woman means predatory man. I'm like, watch this show of back in the noughties, a bunch of trans women, and take a look at how they are women just plodding about, having sex with guys,
and
doing their thing, struggling to like make ends meet as they will be now, and also just like being protective of other people and looking out for each other,
and also vulnerable and victims to the same abuses by men as any other woman.
Totally vulnerable to the same
like
shit.
On the same, like we should all be on the same team.
100%.
There's some amazing performances in that show.
Unbelievably good.
I hadn't really seen, well, some of the like older actors I'd seen before, but I hadn't really seen any of the young actors before.
Yeah.
And I hope that we see like
Sash
that plays Sash
and Di.
Yeah,
I really
again.
want to see them again because they were so incredible.
Yeah, they were great, and it was just one of those really inspiring, like just thinking from a writing perspective, just thinking about Byron or thinking about Paris deciding to write her life story and just bloody doing it and then just bloody getting it out there, and it's just so real and it's just so amazing. And what a kind of, I don't know, to make the struggles of your life into a piece of art that is that good, can't really get better than that, can it?
No, and also like what a scary thing to do, like, because it could go so wrong. It could be taken so wrong at this time as well, like putting something like that out there. I'm also like, thank fuck they treated it with care and did it so beautifully. Like, every episode was a masterpiece. Yes,
and I think I've seen, like, relating it back to the kind of gaggle idea, the Richard Curtis gaggle, like I've seen a few films that look at like
queer groups,
that look at the queer community, and their friendship groups can be quite stereotypical sometimes, and like, oh, they're all getting into scrapes and they're like, oh darling, la 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 la, and this was much more realistic and everyone felt like a real person with troubles. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, all fully formed individuals.
Yeah,
and they're kind of
not like problems. You know, tart with a heart of gold.
Yeah,
narrative. That
although they were all tarts with a heart of gold.
They were tarts with hearts of gold, but they also had sorrows and nuances, and they were bitches sometimes and they were amazing other times. And
I believed all the nuance, and I believed all of their reactions and their ways of doing things, and the way they reacted to situations, and I believed their friendships, and just felt like they all saw each other and then they just clubbed together, because I didn't even like each other that much. You know, Sash and Byron didn't even like each other, but you could just see that, of course, they would end up being gravitating towards each other because they just know each other.
Yeah, and they all kind of got their own narrative arc that rewarded them for their bravery, even though they were still going through hardships. Like, I feel like the Sash character in a fictionalized thing, we've seen characters like that kind of be like moralistically punished, you know, even like the Nancy in Oliver character, like we see those her sex
end?
Workers. I can't exactly remember, but she's basically just abused and neglected by what's his name, and she sings "As Long As He Needs Me."
Oh God.
And it's kind of like, well, don't worry, because they sort of deserve it because they're sex workers. Yeah. And so it's kind of like you sort of love them, but also the story says no, they're not allowed happiness.
I was happy that throughout like the 6 episodes or whatever it was, Sash never experienced like abuse from partners, and also didn't even till the end. It's a shame, like it was just like someone else intervening. Like she was beloved. And she was like, well, I've never experienced that, and she got a bit cocky because of it, and I'm glad she had the, you know, experience to like not know what it was like to experience violence in that way.
Well, the character that, spoiler alert, the character that she does experience violence from is, we realise, obviously dealing with internalised homophobia, which was a very clever thing to do, I think. She gets abuse from a lesbian character, so I thought that was great.
And also quite well done for that kind of, I think she calls Sash a freak. You're not letting my nephew get with a freak. And like, I feel like that is really indicative of like society, of like, oh yeah, if you don't kiss in front of us or don't get in our way, then you're fine. But as long as they're not, you know how people are like, oh, what they do in the bedroom is none of my business, just don't throw it in front of me or whatever.
Don't rub it in my face.
Bev went out of her way to protect the girls, and then as soon as they came into her sphere, she was suddenly like, you're all freaks, and was saying, and I was just like, I don't know, I believed it.
And if you want to see like a completely believable portrayal of like working class British culture, then that is the show. Doesn't feel like there's any exaggerations going on in that, like compared to the Will Sharp character, and you know, that's a lived true, so true experience, and specific, like very like regionally specific. Yasen
Masen, never heard that in my life. It's Nottingham, isn't it? Never heard Yasen. When they were saying it, I was like, huh? The subtitle's wrong. Huh? Sorry, Nottingham.
So, watch it, guys. If you haven't. So worth it.
2 really great shows written by great, awesome women.
And they're soothing my AI anxiety. I've now got AI anxiety. Anxiety. At the same time as climate anxiety, but the two are obviously intertwined. I feel like all I'm hearing is people just talking about, oh, there's new AI software that makes a whole film for you in 1 second, and everyone's fucked. But
they're all shit, so don't let them get better, everyone. The amount of times I hear people saying, oh yeah, I asked ChatGPT to do this, I'm like, really?
I know.
Just everyone uses it. And also, like, you could just look that up on Google, which is probably, I guess, the same thing. Maybe it's all just been existing forever, and I don't know. It's all a bit stressful, isn't it, darling?
But that's all to say that it's just very nice to still see some things which I think were made by humans mainly.
Fairly sure.
And speak of human existence in a way which is nice.
Yeah. I think Lena Dunham is akin to the genius of Emma Thompson.
There you go.
So
she might be a terrible person, we don't know. I mean, she seems nice.
I think she seems nice.
She's problematic. She's controversial. We're not excusing any
but
of that.
But she's only human. So, and she's just a white privileged woman from New York City.
An AI couldn't create a writer, actor who was that fucked up and
that good at acting in that one scene where she's lying down and she's talking.
Stella lying down.
I honestly, I wrote it down and I just said all I want to see is Lena Dunham lolling about.
Oh,
I love that.
love it so much.
Well,
we'll be back in a week.
yeah.
With whatever else we've found to fill our eyeballs.
I think we'll have some stuff to fill our eyeballs because it's raining so much. We're not going to be going anywhere, so it's time to cozy up and watch the telly.
Cozy. And on the Patreon this week, I think we're going to discuss a bit more Such Brave Girls, because I've been watching that in my spare time, and whatever else we've been watching. Oh, our books, perhaps.
Our books, that sounds good.
Book
Because I was
review.
like, I don't know if we watched anything else, darling, but yeah. And the Euros, maybe.
And the Euros.
If you like football, tune into that. We'll talk about some of the players. Okay.
Maybe we'll do Shag, Marry, Annoy. Shag, Marry, Annoy?
Shag, Marry, Avoid.
Avoid.
Shag, Marry, Annoyed is that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Shag, Marry, Avoid for the football players from the England team.
Because it's on the Patreon, so people can't tell us we're being problematic lesbians.
You've just told the world. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.